you'll find them running into burning buildings, but not on the payroll. When 101-year-old Julie Ryan began volunteering at the Rockaway Point firehouse in 1944, she felt she had no other choice. Most of the male firefighters at the department had been drafted to fight in World War II, and someone needed to step in and hold down the fort. All the men had to leave. That's what happened here, she told the Daily News from her Breezy Point home in Queens, the original Rockaway Point firehouse, built in 1909. We used to have our drills on the floor here, she said. In this room itself, there was a whole fire truck. The mother of 10, grandmother of 9 and great-grandmother of 11 said not a day goes by that she doesn't reminisce about her days as a young volunteer. I did deliver a baby in the snow. We couldn't get the ambulance to go all the way to Rockaway, to the hospital, she recalled. I saw her last year and she thanked me. She's a grown woman now, and I helped to deliver her as a baby. When the war ended in 1945 and the troops returned, Ryan helped form the Ambulance and Rescue Corps with the Ladies Auxiliary. When they came back, the ladies stayed, said Ryan, who served for more than 60 years. We learned to man the ambulance. To this day, among the city's 10,000-plus FDNY firefighters, there are dozens of volunteers serving with 7 donation-funded fire departments, for no reason other than to protect and serve the communities they live in. A lot of guys also become EMTs, Chief of Department James Morton of Rockaway Point Volunteer Fire Department told the news. We run 2 New York State-certified BLS, Basic Life Support, ambulances and have about 20 EMTs. There are 7 volunteer firehouses in the city, Garrett's and Beach Fire Volunteers, in Brooklyn, Point Breeze, Rockaway Point, Roxbury, Broad Channel and West Hamilton Beach Firehouses in Queens, and Edgewater Park Volunteer Hose Company in the Bronx. New members begin with 1 year of departmental probation followed by another year of company probation. Then they begin training. There are 2 ways to become a certified firefighter in New York, Morton said. Aspiring firefighters can take a 2-week intensive course in one of the city's various academies, or they can stretch out their training over a longer period. Essentials of Firefighting, which is, in the classroom, is 11 weeks, followed by the Primaries of Firefighting, which is the hands-on portion, and that is now 16 weeks, Morton said. Apart from the odd grant and a small amount of state and federal funding, the volleys, as they are known, run entirely on donations. The guys who are here want to be here, they want to serve their community, Chief Morton said. The volunteer firehouses are all located near isolated waterfront communities, which are sometimes hard for FDNY firefighters to reach, especially under extreme weather conditions. When Mayor Michael Bloomberg ordered residents of the Rockaways to evacuate in advance of Hurricane Sandy in October 2012, thousands ignored his warning and stayed home. For a lot of us, that was one of the biggest nights up here, believe it or not. It was the biggest residential fire in New York City history. 111 homes burned down to the ground, Chief Morton said. Us, Point Breeze and Roxbury were the first ones there. Until the water receded and the FDNY was able to make it onto the peninsula, volunteer firefighters and EMTs were the only responders. We also have 24-hour paid dispatchers through Breezy Point Public Safety. Any emergency call goes through them and they dispatch us, he said. The volunteer firehouses play an integral role in their communities. The City of New York does respond to these areas. However, you'll find times when they absolutely cannot, said EMS Captain of Broad Channel Volunteer Fire Department Jill Spinelli. We're low-lying, difficult to get to, out-of-the-way areas. Spinelli, 30, followed in her grandfather's footsteps, and his father's, too, when she signed up with the Broad Channel Renegade Warriors at just 19. I like to help people, she said. I feel like it's something you either have or you don't have. Whatever it is, I felt it and I stuck with it. After marrying Deputy Chief Nick Spinelli of West Hamilton Beach Firehouse in 2014, whom she met on the job, she says it's likely the couple's 2-year-old daughter, Nicolette, may wind up taking the same route one day, as well. Spinelli is in charge of the department's 2 ambulances and, as president of the corporation, manages fundraising and other financial matters. It's stressful, she said. Sometimes we have trouble making ends meet. It's stressful when we don't have the membership we're supposed to have. When she's not helping out at the firehouse, Spinelli works as a freelance writer. I do a lot of work at night, she said. Motherhood, marriage, I write about the things I know. For Ryan, now a centenarian and dependent on her children to care for her, She felt it was her duty to volunteer in a time when her off-the-grid community was especially on edge. "You're helping people that can't help themselves," she said. "That's how I put it."